Have you ever noticed your productivity skyrockets the moment your boss walks by? The King is Watching takes that very idea and transforms it into a unique puzzle mechanic within a roguelite city builder. In this game, tiles will only produce resource, train soldiers, or perform other vital tasks if you're actively looking at them. Set in a medieval castle, constantly under siege, you play as the king of a crumbling realm. Your job? Build a stronghold and assemble a formidable army to hold back the forces of darkness. But there's the kicker. Your loyal subjects only work while being watched. It's tough being the king when everyone acts like their medieval intern.
I'm your king!
Well, I didn't vote for you.
The concept is fresh and inventive enough to stand out in a crowded genre. But is this gimmick enough to carry a full game? Or is there more depth beneath the crown? Let's dive into the demo and find out. If the name tinyBuild rings a bell, it should. Known for publishing and supporting some of the more memorable indie hits, this time they've teamed up with Hypnohead, a developer hoping to earn their place among the greats. The King is Watching is slated for release on Steam this July, and all footage you see here comes from the free demo currently available. The pixel art is charming and effective, hitting that nostalgic sweet spot without feeling dated. The aesthetic immediately reminded me of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, a deliberately absurd, gritty depiction of medieval chaos that fits the tone perfectly. The entire game unfolds on a single screen, with your castle on the left and the battlefield to the right. But don't let that simplicity fool you. There's a surprising amount of detail packed into every frame. Even seemingly decorative trees serve a gameplay function. But more on that later. Maybe you can spot it. The soundtrack complements the visuals beautifully. It's immersive, medieval, and just atmospheric enough to transport you, without distracting you from the action. So, is the eye tracking mechanic just a gimmick, or does it actually lead to meaningful gameplay? On the surface, The King is Watching seems simple enough. You're the king, you get a little castle, a few peasants, and some land. To survive the waves of enemies, you have to build, expand, and train an army. But there's a twist that changes absolutely everything. Nothing in your kingdom works until you're actively looking at it. Your gaze is quite literally your main resource. At the start of a run, you'll place a few basic buildings like a well, a wheat field, or a lumberyard. But to actually get water, you have to drag your gaze, the highlighted area on the screen, right over the well. As long as you're looking, a peasant gets to work, and your water supply ticks up. The second you look away to check on your lumberyard, the well will just stop. Your workers aren't lazy, they just need a very specific kind of motivation. At first, your gaze only covers a couple of tiles. This immediately forces you into a constant state of strategic triage. It's like spinning plates. You need water to grow wheat, you need wheat to feed people, you need wood to build a barracks. And you need to look at every single one of those things in sequence to make it all happen. You can't just design an effective little town and watch it go. You are the engine. Your attention is the spark that brings your entire economy to life. This one rule creates a gameplay loop that is both instinctual and incredibly addictive. Every building, market, blacksmith, barracks, only functions while you look at it. There's a real rhythm to it. You glance at a well, watch the icon fill, and then flick your gaze to the fields. Then the forest, basically conducting an orchestra of resources with nothing but your focus. It's a masterclass in making you feel connected to the world, because without you, the world is just standing still. This creates constant trade-offs. Watch your wheat field and miss out on gold. Watch your gold and your army sits idle. There are multiple resources to manage: water, wheat, wood, iron ore, and clay. These can be processed into more valuable goods like flour and bricks. And as complexity ramps up, so does the challenge of managing your focus. It's not just about building an economy, it's about juggling what to care about. After every encounter, you unlock new buildings, upgrades, and options. You can even choose your path forward by setting your own royal prophecy, picking the difficulty and the reward for your next 3 encounters. A neat risk-reward mechanic that adds a layer of strategy to your progression. Shops appear sporadically where you can buy resources, new tiles, buffs, spells, buildings, and more. Between runs, there's also permanent upgrades like increased unit caps, new unit types, and improved production. The demo offers just a taste with one skill tree being active, but it hints at the deep systems to come. But what is it all for? What's the endgame? I can tell you this much. It's not just about economic efficiency. To truly reign supreme, you will need to build and manage a formidable army. The King is Watching features a surprisingly deep army management system, one you won't fully grasp in your first couple of runs. Troop tiles allow you to recruit a variety of units including swordsmen, archers, fire mages, and yes, even dragons. There's much more to unlock, and the full release promises to expand on this roster significantly. Once you start building your forces, you'll quickly bump up against the unit limit. This cap only restricts how many troops can be deployed on the battlefield simultaneously. You can, however, keep producing units up to the internal limits of the barracks or the troop tiles. Those extra units are stored in your barracks and can be deployed at any time, meaning smart stockpiling becomes a crucial layer of strategy. And you will want those reserves, because when the front line collapses and the goblins breach your gates, having a final wave ready can mean the difference between victory and total defeat. Of course, sometimes your humble peasants just won't cut it. They might be brave, but they can't take it if too much comes at once.
That's what she said.
Maybe you want to turn enemies into sheep, or rain swords on them, or simply set the whole battlefield on fire. Spells let you swing the tide of combat dramatically. And let's face it, they make auto-battler gameplay far more dynamic and fun. There's a wide variety of spells in the game, some straightforward, others a bit more experimental. You can acquire them post-battle rewards or produce them through buildings like the Magic Shop. Either way, they are a very important part of the overall strategy. I want to give you a short list of my personal pros and cons. Strong visual identity. The pixel art and sound design creates a charming, immersive world. Pause and speed controls. Adjusting the pace to your playstyle. Great for strategic minds and impatient clickers alike. Repetitive loops. In the demo, runs can feel a bit samey. You often chase the same buildings and hope RNG delivers a better synergy. But I sincerely think that the full game will improve on this. Risk of gimmick fatigue. The gaze mechanic is clever and unique, but it needs to evolve throughout the game to maintain a long-term appeal. Satisfying learning curve. Early confusion gives way to addictive mastery. The first "ah" moment is incredibly rewarding. The prophecy system. It's their own take on the classic map system of all the other popular roguelites. I think it adds a lot of strategic depth. To summarize my first impressions, would I recommend it? The answer is a pretty resounding yes. It's a surprising little gem that I didn't know I was waiting for. If you enjoy city builders or puzzle games with unique mechanics, this is worth your time. The gaze-based productivity system is weirdly satisfying, and once the loop clicks, you'll be hooked. If you're someone who lives for just one more run, this one is for you. The demo is free and worth checking out, especially if you want something fresh in the rogue builder space. Rogue builder? Is that a genre? Let's make it one. And that has been it for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you're into offbeat and promising indie games, consider subscribing. I dig deep so you don't have to. Check out my other videos for games you probably never heard of, but definitely should. I have been the IndieCrawler. Thank you for watching. Until next time.